Andrew Cross, 36, owned the Desert Drifter channel, which combined archaeology with exploration. He visited and made videos about any place he found interesting, from ancient stone walls to abandoned German spy caves from World War II. In just over a year, he gained a legion of fans thanks to the quality of his videos and the charisma with which he told stories of abandoned and mysterious places. But Andrew suddenly stopped posting after his last video in January 2025. Some thought he was just taking a break to rest, while others speculated that the delay was due to the time needed to produce the next video. But on February 2nd, viewers received the sad news from Andrew's Urwandra wife, Evelyn.
Friday night, Andrew was in a really bad accident.
On a day in February, Andrew was in a bad accident. Andrew had suffered a terrible car accident. On January 31st, 2025, Andrew was returning home after filming a video about the National Monument in Utah. He was waiting at a traffic light in Grand Junction when out of nowhere a runaway car violently crashed into the back of his car, causing it to flip over.
And he is currently in the intensive care unit, fighting for his life from a really severe brain injury.
The accident caused severe brain injuries, and Andrew spent over a month in the ICU and was put on life support. But the doctors concluded that there was no chance of recovery. On March 4th, around 10:50 a.m., the family made the painful decision to turn off the machines. This news devastated his thousands of fans, who mobilized and raised over $500,000 to help his wife and family. The driver responsible for the accident, Ragnar Nikolaus Crystal, was arrested 20 days later on February 21st and was charged with manslaughter for driving under the influence of alcohol. He was still awaiting sentencing at the time of this video's recording. Storm de Boel was a 22-year-old from Belgium, known for showcasing his journeys through Northern Europe. His videos were different. They had no dialogue. He only used the sounds of nature to make his viewers feel as if they were there with him. He started posting his recordings in 2024, but he had been solo camping since he was 19. On one of his most intense trips, he cycled over 6,000 kilometers across Sweden alone. He had plenty of experience surviving in the wild, but when nature decides to show its power, not even the most prepared adventurer can withstand it. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened to Storm. On October 29, 2024, he was recording another video during yet another expedition, this time in the Jakmat region of Swedish Lapland, a place famous for its snow-covered landscapes and the northern lights. He left his car in a small town and, as always, ventured into the wilderness on foot with his tent and equipment. The plan was to spend a few days and then return. On that day, he was already on his way back. He only had a day's walk left to reach the car. But it was getting dark quickly, and walking in the dark would be very dangerous. So he decided to set up his tent and spend the night there. A cold wind began to blow. Storm tried to improvise by placing snow around the tent for protection, but nothing could prepare him for what was about to happen. A few hours later, a brutal snowstorm hit the region, with winds up to 120 kilometers per hour. The temperature dropped to -6 degrees Celsius, but with the wind it felt like almost -18. Around midnight, he sent a video to a friend. In it, he showed the tent being destroyed by the wind, and in the same video he says, "Tonight is going to get worse." Jesus Christ. Shortly after, he called his grandmother, trying to reassure her. It's snowing a lot here, but don't worry, I will survive, you know." And then at 2:36 a.m., Storm made an emergency call to the Swedish authorities. He reported that he had multiple injuries and a broken nose and asked for help. But the storm was so intense that helicopters couldn't get close, and the snow blocked access by land. Only at 10 a.m., when the storm finally passed, were the rescuers able to reach him, but it was already too late. Storm was found about 2.6 kilometers from his tent, lifeless, with a frozen body and injuries from the fall that likely broke his nose. Despite the tragedy, Storm died doing what he loved most. As he once told his father, "It took me a while to understand what I wanted, but this is what I want." Hannah Rose Moody was a YouTuber and digital influencer who was 31 years old and lived in Scottsdale, Arizona. Her YouTube channel mainly focused on her faith, but on Instagram she posted different content. On this account, she shared her hiking adventures through the rocky terrain of the Arizona desert. Since moving to Arizona 6 months earlier, hiking had already become part of her routine. On May 21st, she woke up early and went to the trail known as Gateway Trailhead, within the McDowell-Sonoran Preserve. The trail was about 7 kilometers long, with climbs and rocky sections, but nothing new for her. Hannah believed she would finish the hike in 3 hours and thought she would even have time to have lunch with her friends. But that meeting never happened, and what was supposed to be just another hike turned into a devastating tragedy. When she didn't show up at the scheduled time, her friends immediately sensed something was wrong. She wasn't the type to disappear without a trace. Besides being late, Hannah wasn't answering her phone and hadn't sent any message about her delay. They waited at the restaurant for hours, and by 7:50 p.m. her friends decided to go to her house. But when they arrived, the car wasn't in the garage and the door was locked. So, they called the police. Her car was found still parked at the beginning of the trail. The search then began immediately. Helicopters, drones, and dogs were used to try to locate her. The search was finally called off at 11:30 p.m. and resumed the next morning with even more people looking for her. Unfortunately, around 12:05 p.m., a helicopter found Hannah Moody's body lying face down on the desert ground, just 550 meters from the trail. She had likely been dead for several hours, but there were no signs of violence, drugs, or injuries from a fall or stumble. The conclusion was that she had suffered from heat stroke. That day, as she was walking, the temperature exceeded 39 degrees Celsius, so Hannah likely suffered a heat stroke, became disoriented, wandered off the trail, and eventually passed out before dying. The young woman, who often shared her faith and moments of connection with nature, unintentionally left a sort of final farewell to her loved ones on YouTube and Instagram. Finn Kine, 33, was a survival expert in Pitt County, Scotland. At his school called Wildcat Bushcraft, he taught children general wilderness survival techniques. He also taught bushcraft skills, which include activities like building shelters using natural materials, foraging for food, hunting, and other related activities. He also had a YouTube channel where he shared his knowledge with his loyal audience. On March 25, 2022, Finn began a 72-kilometer expedition starting from the B873 road near Loch Nibor in southern Thurland. The goal was to head south, walking to the small village of Goulsby. The idea was to document everything and turn it into content. His family knew the journey would take more than a day, so they weren't immediately worried. But 3 days passed with no sign of Finn. He also hadn't made any contact during this time. All calls from his family went straight to voicemail. It was then, on the 3rd day, that his father contacted the police and reported him missing. He still held out hope that his son was simply lost, or that he had broken his phone, or was just enjoying the hike. But in reality, Finn had vanished from the area without a trace. Intensive searches were conducted for months, but no clues about Finn's whereabouts were found. The case even appeared on a British show about mysterious disappearances called Vanished, but that didn't help either. Even after a year of searching with no results, his father didn't give up and continued looking for his son alone. Only after 19 months did the first clue emerge. Finn's backpack was found partially hidden in bushes near Loch Nava. This led the family to believe that he might have tried to cross the lake and ended up drowning. So, after searching for his body for a few more months, they made the difficult decision to stop looking and accept the fact that Finn had truly disappeared. But many people have doubts. Why would a survival expert do something so risky, especially knowing he still had many kilometers ahead? These doubts have fueled various theories, ranging from the possibility that Finn staged his own death to darker hypotheses, such as Finn entering the lake on purpose to end it all. Unfortunately, there isn't enough evidence to say whether any of these theories are true or not. The fact is, to this day, Finn's disappearance remains an unexplained mystery, and these were the cases of YouTubers who unfortunately didn't make it back home. Subscribe to the channel, like and share this video, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. See you in the next video.